Am from DIY and today is going to be an incredibly long video, so I'm going to try to make this intro really short and sweet. As you can see, today we're making some jewelry and dangles for the boxes that I made last week. You can make these for boo baskets, you can make these for birthdays, you can make this pretty much for any time of year. It doesn't have to be specifically this kind of cereal that you do either. You could do this sort of thing for Lucky Charms. I did the Lucky Charms video as well this year. That's kind of something that sort of inspired me, but also is very much inspired by, I tried the Monster cereal last year. It was just these two that I tried. I really liked it. I thought it was kind of fun. I loved the boxes. I kept the boxes, and you'll see that in this video as well. I just really had a lot of fun making this. You can make charm bracelets with this, earrings, all sorts of different things, but I thought that this was a fun charm to do. And yeah, so it's a long process of showing you guys how I made them, but yeah, you can totally jump around if you want to. Say you want to skip ahead or something. I'm gonna leave some timestamps down below, and yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and that's pretty much it. So long. Anyways, a lot of fun though at the same time, so I really hope you enjoy watching this and maybe try making it yourself. Okay, on to the video. So for this project, you'll most likely need, I'm going to use some Model Magic air dry clay in white, and then I'm going to color it with some paint. You can use whatever you want. I'm just going to use this chocolate color here, and then this magenta for the two different chocolatey and strawberry flavors of marshmallow. The brighter the better, I find, or the darker the better, because I find it lightens up quite a bit in the white. So I'm going to mix that in. I'm also going to mix it with some white and hopefully try to create some sort of marbly effect. I'm also going to try to use this just to streamline things a little bit. So I'm actually going to finally open this up, and I'll put it in a container so I don't lose all the pieces. But this might have been easier to probably break open for my other project. I got this a little later, so I didn't do that. But I did a Lucky Charms project for St. Patrick's Day this year, so I'll link that link down below for that in case you guys haven't seen it yet and if you want to check that out. But yes, hopefully this will make things like making shapes a certain size a little bit easier. So there's that. I'm going to open that up later in this video. You can also use toothpicks, or you can use other tools if you'd like. I might also use a few other tools. We'll see how things go. If you also want to cut things, you can use razors. You might use this craft knife blade. Again, yeah, you can use that. You can use floss too to cut clay, whether it's air dry or polymer or any of that stuff. You can also use polymer clay if you'd like. That might be also a nice alternative to this if you want to just bake things instead of letting things dry for a while. Depends on how much time you have. I'm doing this way in advance, obviously, so hopefully I have a lot of time. We'll see. I also bought these, so we'll see how these work. I got these at Michael's, but I also bought this, I think, online. So I don't think I'm going to use these ones though. These are the eye pins. You can use stuff like this, especially if you want to make another loop at the end, and then you can hang beads or chains and stuff like that off of it. So I was going to use this, but I ended up buying these head pins. I wanted them to be a little bit bigger, so these are a little smaller than I wanted them to be. I wanted them to be a little bit bigger and flat. Anyways, this will hopefully do. I'll show you guys in the video what I'm going to do with these guys. But I've got different colors, so there's gold, silver, and kind of like a coppery tone. So, and then I bought these guys. So I found this on AliExpress, these big chains, which I really wanted. It's a different color, which is kind of annoying, but it was really hard to find matching stuff. This is probably the best match I could find. I couldn't find any browns, which was really irritating. I wish that this was all sold in the same company, but I have this. They're kind of keychain things, and they've got a lobster clasp on them, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a lobster clasp for this, and also little rings like this. I think that's going to come in handy. So I have that for this too. I don't know. It's really hard to match findings because sometimes it's really hard to find stuff. But anyways, I bought a whole bunch of this stuff just in case. And then if you're using stuff for jewelry at all, I like to use tiny little, I got these from the dollar store, but you can get little stuff like this, I think, on Amazon or something. But I have bigger jewelry things as well. That might be a little easier to handle, but this is always good if you're trying to do some jewelry stuff. I might even get some clips out. The other ones don't work as well as this one, so this is about the size that I normally work with. But these work pretty good for clipping metal. In case I have to clip some metal, which I probably will at some point, I'm gonna probably use this. So there's that. And I'm gonna need some references, I think. So I'm just gonna show you guys this. But I took pictures of the marshmallows when I got them. So I'm gonna probably handle things a little bit differently for these, but I'm gonna see if I can make these a little bit differently. Maybe paint the outside instead of mixing the color. So the mixing the color, I think it'll make it look more marshmallowy. And I'm gonna get the big one out so so that I can reference these shapes a little bit better. This is how they look for real, and this is how they look on the box. So we'll see, both references might come in handy here. I'm sure there's other things that I need in this, but I'll see how things go as I go. So I'm going to change out to a different mat, a mat that's a little bit grubbier, because I don't really honestly feel like putting down a surface. So I'm going to probably just switch to my green ugly mat that you guys have seen before. It's a little spookier anyways for Halloween, so I'm going to do that and then I will come back. Okay, back to my green ugly mat. I also brought out these guys. I guess I'm gonna have to break out some other colors too, because it looks like there's blue and a purple tone in this one, and there's a white. So there's a blue, pink, purple, and white as far as I can see here. So that's gonna be harder to work with, I think. So I'm gonna try to do the Count Chocula one first, I think. This one's gonna be a hard shape to do. I mean, technically, it looks like nobody really wanted to make it with the actual cereal bit, so these were the best bits I could find in the actual cereal when I was looking at this stuff up close. So I'm gonna put this over here aside so only I can see it, and then I'm gonna try to see if I can reference this, and then I'm gonna also open this up. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I'm going to use gloves so that I can mix the colors pretty easily without getting them on my hands, and then I don't have to wash my hands so frequently. All right, I'm opening these guys up for the first time. So these are mini stainless steel cutters, and there's 12 unique designs. I think there's another one kind of like this, but I got this one because this one seemed like the most like Lucky Charm one. And then I'm going to open this Sky. So this is an older Model Magic. I got a newer one too, just in case this one's really dry. I should also get some water too, just in case, because it's always good to have a little bit of water on hand. So I just have a little bit of water here. It's just in a paint thing that is stained, so hopefully it should be fine. Okay. I'm going to also get some gloves on here. I love that it feels kind of marshmallowy too. It's fun to work with for marshmallowy kind of projects. Just want to add a little water so it's a little easier to work with. So the first thing I'm going to do is work with the Count Chocula one. I think I'm going to keep that one white, and I'm going to add a little bit of this brown. Okay, so this kind of looks like a burnt umber color. What's it called? It's called Saddle Brown. It has a burnt umber kind of look to it. So I would suggest getting a burnt umber and then a magenta for the pinks if you're trying to do pink or something bright. You can even use neon if you want to make some pastel colors, like a neon pink color. I mean, we don't have to mix this up too much, but I kind of want to mix a full chocolatey one, and then I'm going to mix the two, have a marbly effect going on. Might make this a little bit more brown. Okay, I'm gonna just take a little bit. I might add a little bit more white, to be honest, to make it look more marbly. So I'm gonna cut some pieces here. Okay, which one should I do first? I might make the bat one, maybe? Flatten it out a bit. This one, maybe? I'll get this one to make the bat shape. Might be very small, but so I'll show you guys a little bit what I'm doing here. So see how it's got ears there, and then it's got these kind of things for the wings. So that's what I'm trying to do. You know what? I might just squish this down a bit more. There we go. Get more of a marbly looking one. Yeah, I'll do this one. Okay, and I'm just gonna take this out of here. There we go. Okay, this is gonna be tough to do, guys, because it's very sticky. It has a marbly effect still, but you know, it's very sticky. Oh, and then I'm gonna get my, okay, I'm gonna take my gloves off for a second. I'm gonna get a toothpick here. Might as well use what we've got, right? I think it's gonna be easier to use my hands with this particular part. The mixing of the paint, definitely use gloves. But if you're shaping things, you might wanna use your hands a little bit more for that. I'm gonna try to see what I can do for making a bat shape. This is not easy to do, guys. I'll say that much. Tamp this down a bit on one side. Got a little bit of water here happening. I'll tamp this down too. It would be easier if we had cookie cutter shapes, kind of the same shape, but I'm gonna try to work with what I've got. Okay, so it's a little bit of a deformed bat, but it's really hard for them to look perfect. I think these are supposed to be bats here, and I find them really hard to do. I'm gonna do a few bats and see what I can come up with. Okay, so there's one bat, but I'm just gonna fix the ears a little bit. Just gonna try to do it the best that I can, but it's so hard. I also want to make it look more marshmallow-like, so in case you guys forgot, I used a little brush to give it some texture last time. I'm just going to give it a few holes here. Do I still have that toothbrush? I'm going to just double check. There's all these other tools that you can use here. Oh, yeah. I think I'm just going to use these, if anything, and then the toothbrush. Okay, now let's make a marshmallow here. I mean, it's okay if it looks kind of misshapen, as I said, because the real marshmallows kind of look like that. I tried to get the best ones here, and they don't look even remotely like a bat. They might be the ghost, I'm not too sure. But I wanted to have some sort of marbly effect going on with hopefully the ghost will be a little easier to do. This is so soft that it's so easy to squish without meaning to. I was being very gentle with it. Well, I'm going to try to make another bat. I don't want to keep playing with that too much. It's literally so soft that it's so hard to make shapes of it. You know what I might do? I might just try this guy because it's a little bit bigger. Maybe it'll be a little easier to work with. Yeah, it's a bit bigger, so it might be easier to work with. Okay, so let us try to carve out ears. I don't know, that one looks okay. It looks better than the last one, maybe. The other one. Again, it's really hard to do these though. Get some texture going. Make it look more marshmallow-like. Well, maybe a few little things of texture here to make it look like a marshmallow. And I'm gonna try not to squish it, but it's impossible. I don't have like a mini spatula. I wish I had a mini spatula to hit this up. Okay, I'm just gonna fix this a little bit. So I'm gonna let this dry a bit and harden a bit more. This one I kind of want to redo. I don't really love that one. I'll see if I can make a few of these bats. Kind of prefer this clay cutter. They're all gonna be different shapes most likely, so I'll just pick the best one to do something with. Cool. Alright, let's just dull this guy up a bit more and squish it down. This is some of the leftover from the excess spillover, if that makes sense. I like to sometimes use a spillover as a way to get stuff out, because it comes out really easily. But yeah, it's very sticky, so it's easy to squish it. They're all gonna be different shapes, basically. I mean, that's how cereal goes, right? All the marshmallows and grain pieces or corn pieces or whatever are all different shapes. Okay, let's see what I can make from here. Keep on making some bats for a little bit. Trying to make things look kind of even, but again, it's almost like, what's the point? Because it's like, why bother? The messier it looks, the more realistic it looks, and the tastier it looks to me. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like eating things that look too perfect, because then I won't want to eat it. That's basically how I feel. Okay, so I got that. I might make, let's make maybe two more. I'll make two more, and then I'll move on to ghosts or something. Yeah, that's a good one. This is a cool swirl happening here. Oh, this looks like a heart shape, sort of like a warped heart. Sorry, I didn't mean to squish that. These look kind of like bat wings almost. I don't know if they're supposed to be ghosts or what, or the bats. I'm not even sure. I'm just trying to reference the box more here, so you guys can see what I'm referencing a little bit more. I'm trying to reference that. So yeah, it's really cool. I think General Mills and the Jim Henson Company sort of worked together this year to make a cool looking box from what I could see when I was researching this a little bit more. So that was really neat. I'll see if I can show you guys in this video. I might do something cool with that. I think that that's really fun. They made puppets of these characters, which I think is really cute. And as you guys know, and I think you guys have seen on my channel, I did a rant one time about the Muppets because I absolutely love the Muppets. I'm obsessed with the Muppets and Jim Henson. Jim Henson is one of my favorite people. Well, I like the swirl on this. But yeah, so you can keep some of these without headbands if you want to, and you can decorate. I've got fake sweets that I've done, right? So I have, as you guys have probably already seen, hopefully if you've watched my channel, I've got Rice Krispies boxes that I made. So I made that for, I think I already said this, I made that for St. Patrick's Day, and I put some, without headbands, I put some fake marshmallows on top. I think that that looks really fun. So yeah, I did all the ones that I did in that video. You can also, if you want to, put them on something like, I make brownie boxes. I'm gonna do a better tutorial. I have a tutorial sort of already on my channel, but I'm going to do a better tutorial on how to make brownie boxes around Christmas time. So in case you guys are interested in learning how to make these, you guys will see that being made on my channel, okay? So yeah, but you can definitely top that stuff and decorate it all Halloween-y if you wanted to. These ones on a fake brownie box might be cute for extra chocolatey effects. I'm telling you guys, this is not easy. If you guys are really good with molding things, you got to do slate molding, right? Because I want to keep this marble effect going throughout. I think that's why most people don't do this sort of thing. If they had cookie cutters with the shapes, I think people would want to make these a little bit more. Or, I mean, even molds would be nice. This one's really warped looking. The one wing is so much longer than the other. Oops, I just dropped it. Oh well. Alright, I think I did enough of those. Let's try to do the ghost one. So I'll just bring this in a bit. I think the ghost shape's gonna be a lot easier to do than the bats, maybe. It's got thin top and then it's got these kind of little bumps here. I'm gonna see if I can mimic that. I think these are so much easier to make. There we go, and there's a little ghost. This one's so much easier to make. Okay, we've got a few. They're so much cuter than the bats. I love the bats though. It's just so much easier to make them. I don't know if I can make the swirl one. The swirl one's gonna be so hard to do, I think. That one's a big one. Some of them are getting kind of big. Okay, so I got about 6 ghosts. I guess I'll make the swirl one. Let's see if I can do something with this. Okay, so this one's a tough one. So this is what I'm trying to capture, which is going to be not easy to do. I mean, I guess I could try to paint a swirl on, but it's not going to look like that, most likely anyways in real life. So what I could do is I could always use this as a guide, this circle guy. Do that, so there's a bit of a circle happening. And then try to... Okay, whatever, close enough. So hard to do, guys. I might stop here for the Count Chocula stuff. I'm gonna put the stuff aside, I think. And then I'm going to start working on the Franken Berry cereal. Oh, so there's still bats in here. They're the purple bats, I guess. Okay, but that's more of a solid color, so I don't have to do the swirls for this, which is nice. Okay, well, I already have experience with making bats. I don't know what these are supposed to be. I kind of wish that they told you what the shapes are supposed to be. It just looks like a lump. These ones look like monster paws, I think. This one, I really can't tell what this is. It looks like a cloud or something, so I'll try to make that. And it looks like it still has some ghosts in it, so it's a white ghost instead. So the ghosts are so easy to make. Okay, I'm gonna take some of the white here. I'm gonna get the blue and a purple tone. I think I used this to make the purple originally. And then I'm gonna do sky blue. I'm gonna cut these in half. I might actually be able to make the green cereal with those guys too, so I gotta think about that stuff. I also need to keep some white for the ghosts. Okay, I'm gonna make some ghosts first. These guys here, I think those are corn pieces. I thought they were grain pieces. Normally that's the way cereal seems to be. A lot of grain pieces. Okay, so those ghosts are good. Okay, so there's gonna be a pink, a blue, and purple. I'm gonna do pink first, because I think there's more pink in this cereal. I might make them out of these guys, and then just paint them. It's not gonna matter if it's brown or whatever. I'm just gonna do all the coloring first of these, and then I'll cut them up and do what I've been doing for stuff like this, okay? I'm gonna do the magenta for the pink. See, it's a similar pink, so I don't want it to be too bright. I didn't have a reference when I was doing the Lucky Charms ones because I just ate so much Lucky Charms when I was a kid. I just kind of committed it to memory, I guess. I don't know. This is the first time, last year was the first time that I actually ate this cereal, so that's good. The pink is good. And then I'm gonna do a purple and then a blue one. The purple's gonna be the bats. I find adding a little bit more magenta sometimes helps bring out the purple. Whoa, this is really purple now. I didn't want it to be this purple, but well, maybe it won't be so bad once I really mix it. Alright, now I'm gonna do the blue. So this is deep sky blue, and then the purple was the purple. But again, you can get other brands of paints. These are just craft quality paints. You can get student grade paints. If you want to get a really nice paint, you can always get an artist quality paint, but I don't think it's really necessary. I think student grade or craft quality paints are probably the best ones to do a project like this. You can get air dry clay, you can get foam clay, polymer clay. There's all sorts of different kinds of clays too. So if you don't feel like coloring everything with paints, there's other options. Anyways, there's the blue. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna take off my gloves here. So I've already made the ghost. So now I have to make paws, whatever this is, some sort of blob. And then the bats. I'll make the bats first, the purple bats. I already know how to sort of do that. These would look so cute if you just painted them with some sort of glow-in-the-dark paint too, I think. I don't know, glow-in-the-dark projects just scream Halloween to me. And then I'm just going to turn these guys into regular marshmallows. All right, next thing. I'll do this blob later. I'm gonna do, because this one I definitely think is a paw, so I'm gonna do that first. I'm pretty sure this is a paw, but yeah, if you guys know what this is, this blob thing, please let me know in the comments below, because I have no clue what it's supposed to be. So I'm just gonna make some sort of cloud shape with that one, and then these guys, I'm gonna try to make them look kind of like a paw. Maybe I'll make the heart-shaped one. Yeah, these are so much easier to make if you're going to make Lucky Charms marshmallows. That's perfect. It's so much easier to make than what I ended up making, but that's okay. Whoopsies. If I wanted to make little tiny hearts for Lucky Charms, I can totally do it with this though. Okay guys, let's try to make a paw. Not gonna be the exact paw that you see most likely here, but we'll see what we can make here. If there was a bigger heart-shaped one, that would be amazing, but that's okay. Okay, I think I'm done with the paws. And then I'll just do some mini marshmallows real quick. And then I'll just do the blob one. Whatever it is. Okay, it's good enough. Alright, let's do the blobs. That's what I'm gonna call them. That look like clouds or whatever. And then we'll be done with the marshmallows, and then we can move on to the green pieces. I'll do the mini marshmallows. I think these guys would look cute if I did a s'mores box. Alright, there we go. If you want to, you can always put a head pin or something through these guys too. Whoops, they're sticking together. Oh, no, don't stick together. Put a head pin through those guys too. I'm gonna let these guys dry a bit. I'm actually going to mix these guys up a little bit more. And then I'm gonna make some kind of green shapes with that. And then I'll paint those ones afterwards. This will be easier to make the brown. The pink, I'm sure it'll be fine to paint over with acrylic. They're coming together. So I'm gonna turn off the camera. I'm gonna make a bunch more of these, and then I will let them dry a little bit. I'll see if I can insert a head pin in some of these at some point, and then maybe once those are fully dry, then I can paint these, okay? Okay, so I've already done a bunch of these guys. I just wanted to show you real quick what I'm doing here. And this is a nerve-wracking sort of phase. I think beyond this might be actually even more nerve-wracking, because a lot of these things are very delicate. So when I'm cutting things off and turning things into a charm, these might fall apart. It's very possible because it's air dry clay. I think I cracked something when I was trying to do some delicate work before with when I was doing charms. So I might just try to avoid this part and maybe make a longer part for the hoop. We'll see how that goes, but I'm just trying to do a whole bunch of these guys now. I want to do at least one chain per jewelry piece. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. If I'm going to do a keychain or a necklace or whatever, I'm figuring that out. So I've done a lot of these guys already with these gold head pins. So I just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing. I'll show you with the ghosts. Try to get a chunkier ghost if you can. So they're still a little sticky. They're not quite dry. They're still in the air drying phase. I'm just inserting the pin. I want to make sure it's chunky just so that I don't go through the other side. But try to feel with your fingers if you're going kind of more in the center, if that makes sense. And just sort of push it through. You can twist it if you'd like. And this might change the shape of what you had before. So I'm just gonna try very hard to keep it a similar shape if I can. I'm gonna push that all the way down to the bottom. And you can make sure the other side's okay. Looks alright. If there's some mess up at the top, you can do some zhuzhing with your fingernail. And anyways, there you go. There's a ghost. I got a couple ghosts over here. I got some ghosts over here too. If you want to, you can change out the head pin too. So I'm gonna do one more ghost, and then I'm gonna do 2 of these real quick. And yeah, just make sure it's not going through to the other side. If you're a little nervous about doing this sort of thing, you can always put bails on either the back or the top of these, like I did with my other video when I was doing the Lucky Charms charm bracelet. I'll put that one down below too, because I know that I did the Lucky Charm box, but I also did Lucky Charm bracelets. So I'll show you guys that as well. One more ghost to go. So let's do this guy because it's kind of on the thicker side. So now I've got 3 ghosts that I could also have to top something. They do feel like marshmallows at this stage. Try not to stick them beside each other, then they'll most likely stick together as well. Alright, so you can top things with the ones that you didn't put bails through or head pins. You can also, as I said, if you wanted to, you can put the eye pins on the bottom and then you can chain things or bead things from there. But yeah, I'm gonna probably let these dry. I'm gonna leave these for at least a few days maybe, just to make sure that they're super solidly dry. Okay, so I let these guys dry overnight. I'm probably gonna let them dry a little longer because they do still feel a little tacky almost. I can flip them over and they probably will still feel like that a little bit. A lot of the ones that I've got paint in them, they're gonna feel more marshmallowy and squishy. I'm gonna flip a lot of these guys over. So anyways, I think I flipped everything over, so I'm just gonna let things dry a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna go through the painting stage. So I'm just gonna put these regular marshmallows that I made in. This is from when I made Lucky Charms. I made some extra marshmallows too. So these are really fun for little bits in case you want to make little Rice Krispie squares like I've made. You can cut things up and you can stick things on the side if you want to make it look like you've used colorful marshmallows, or you can even just stick stuff on top for decorations. So there's that. I'm going to also put these guys off to the side because I'm not going to paint any of these guys. So these are all the ones that they don't have the head pins. Okay, I have some water here. I'm going to do some painting, as I said. So I brought back the magenta because it's probably going to be a fairly decent color, I think, for this. I might mix colors, I'm not sure. I might have to get something to mix things with. But yeah, I've got pink as well, regular pink color. This is the saddle brown I'm bringing back. Burnt sienna, I don't know. I might just use it for, as you can see, there's some sort of specks. It's good to do a couple tones of things, but I may not end up using it just because there's already quite a bit of brown on here. But yeah, we'll see. And then if I need to make anything lighter, I also have a white. And then I just have some paintbrushes. So yeah, so I pretty much have everything I think I need. I've got some paper towel over here too in case I need that as well. Let's get started. I'll put some of these guys aside too. It's mostly these bits here that I want to paint. Okay, so I'll pick out 6 of the brown and then 6 of the pink. So let's see if I can make it look kind of like this. Here, I'll just get some wax paper. I'm gonna use this as a little palette here. Whoops, poured quite a bit of it out. I'm just dabbing it on just because having a little bit of texture on it might be good. If you feel the paint is too shiny, that's fair enough. You can always do matte medium over top of it as well. This is the saddle brown. Okay. Maybe do almost like a dry brush technique. I think that might be better. That might be actually a better idea. It might look more realistic to this, actually. Yeah, this guy looks too chocolatey, I think. No, whatever, it's okay. Whatever, you live and you learn. Whoa, whoops. I got my finger in the paint that looks like chocolate. Ah, okay. I can wash my hands, that's fine. I'll do that later. If you want, you can wear gloves. These acrylics should be fairly safe as far as I know. Certain pigments can be unsafe, but I think because these are craft quality, I think they should be okay. Hard to paint this because it's not glued on, so it twists around really easily, but that's okay. It gives it a nice texture anyways. Yeah, so I want this kind of texture. Try to do some dry brushing, take some paint off of there. It doesn't have to be this kind of brush at all. I just grabbed this from my stash of brushes. You can use whatever brush you want. Something that's a little more splayed out might be a little easier to dry brush with. It's okay if the crevices are a later color. You don't have to get deep down in there. It just gives it more of a two-tone textured effect, which I think is what we're going for. So it's good that these guys are brown. This should be interesting for when we're doing the pink ones. Okay, looks a little bit more edible. My husband and I just found the Addams Family 60s show on Amazon Prime, so that's pretty exciting. So we've been kind of watching that to get ready for Halloween. Super fun to watch. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's got me in a spooky Halloween-y kind of mood. This is actually the summer that I'm doing this, so it's quite a ways away for Halloween, but gets me in a Halloween mood, that's for sure. I want to make sure that I get this stuff done and out there, and so you guys can do the craft if you want to, with lots of time to spare, hopefully, for Halloween. It's a fun Halloween craft if you want to do this, or you can just watch me do it, whatever. It can give you ideas for other projects too. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy watching this regardless. Okay, so I'm gonna leave these guys to dry. Wash this in the water here, get some paper towel because I don't want to keep this in the water. That can actually basically destroy your brushes if you do that. It can make the bristles fall out. It's not a good idea. So I'm going to take the saddle brown that I poured out of here and try to put some of this back in the bottle because I don't want to waste a ton of this. So this looks almost like an orangey pink color, so that's interesting. So let's see if I can make something that makes sense. Now this I'm not going to be able to get back in the bottle most likely. Let's see if I can get a touch of burnt sienna out and see if I can make a color that's similar to this guy. It looks a little more orangey though, so I probably need a touch of orange, but this is a very orangey brown, so let's see. Let's see what happens if I mix all these guys together. Maybe I can make something like a more realistic looking pink color. Definitely need some white. I feel like I need more of a pink tone. I'll get this regular pink tone. I'm not gonna work. It's not exactly the color I was going for. I think I need more of an orangey tone. I'm gonna actually go for the color orange. Sometimes you really gotta play around with the colors. It's a little closer. It's a little closer. I think that's probably the closest I'm gonna get. I might be able to add a little bit more orange, but I don't want it to be too bright orange. Let's just take some of this off and use it. And I want to rinse this off just because I want to dry brush, right? It's not exactly the color I was really going for. I want something a little bit brighter. As you can see here, it's like a corally color. We'll see what happens. You know what? I will probably add a little bit more of an orange. I feel like I should have added more of a fluorescent color, but I don't think I have a lot of fluorescent colors, to be honest. Yeah, maybe that'll work, hopefully. That seems a bit brighter. Let's try to go with that. Let's see. Again, we want to dry brush that. So let's try to make this brush a little more dry. Okay. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Can we make this strawberry looking color? It's definitely a lot more pinky in tone than I was anticipating, but that's okay. You can always go over it with a light orangey color if it doesn't look quite right. So yeah, you guys might come up with a better color combo than I do. I just was playing around for a bit just to see what I could come up with. I might end up going over this at some point with more of the orangey tone over here, maybe in certain sections, I don't know, just to give it some more variation of color. So interesting. Okay, I just put a little bit more of an orangey color on it and it kind of looks a bit brighter, so that's cool. Just a bit. So you do have to watch because you're painting over air dry clay, so you don't want to overdo it because then it sort of reactivates the air dry clay. You're gonna have to leave it to dry a little bit longer, right? I mean, if you go over it with maybe some Mod Podge and let that dry a bit, it might be okay to do a few coats of paint. Either way, I think it looks a lot more close to the cereal than before with the flat color. Well, this is a funny one, eh? Yeah, you might want to varnish these because they're probably going to be incredibly fragile when you're done with them. I would say matte finish, varnish those too, probably with a Mod Podge or something. I would say brush it on probably, but you can always spray it too if you really don't mind spraying things. I would say do it in a highly ventilated area or outside if it's a nice day, but I really don't love spray and I don't really condone it just because I have asthma and it's not the best thing to breathe in general. Even if it's non-toxic sprays, I still don't really like the idea of it. Anything you spray into the air is not great for your lungs or anybody's lungs, really. Gotta think about other people too, right? Okay, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna throw out these things of paint. I don't think I really need these anymore. I'm gonna turn off the camera, clean this up, let these dry. I might varnish these. I'll cut these down and then do a little bit of a loop and we'll start making the actual bracelet or necklace or keychain or something like that, depending on what we're doing. You can also do earrings, but I'm not a huge earring person because I don't have my ears pierced. If you want to, you can do earrings though for people. They might be a little bit askew, obviously, but that might be kind of fun and add to a spooky outfit that you're wearing. I like things when they're a little asymmetrical or a little wonky or weird. But if you really want them to be twins of each other, you could say you made something that looks really good, make a mold of whatever you just made. That might be good. A silicone mold might be a good idea, and then maybe take the same material and put that in there, pop it out, let it dry if you can, and then paint that. So that's another alternative. You can also use there's all sorts of different materials you can use, I think, like resins and things, but I don't fully love resins. I might do something in the future on, there's a thing called Resincrete that came out. I think I might do something way in the distant future, maybe next year. It's like a water-based, it says eco water-based, like a resin, so I'll have to do something on that at some point. But yeah, this might be a good thing if you're making molds and popping things out. This might be a lot more solidified and a little bit easier to make into a decent, say, necklace, chain, or something like that you can wear around. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to clean up, let these guys dry, and we'll come back and do some head pin forming. Okay, so I don't really want to do the Mod Podge stage quite yet, but I do want to make it so that I can hang this stuff. So what I want to do is I want to try to snip things halfway up. Okay, so I'm going to try to hold on to that. It doesn't go flying. I'm going to stick it in that margarine container I've been using for water. It's all dry now. Let's see if I can do something with this. So I don't break this. I'm going to hold on to it as much as I can with this, and then see which side is the better side. I think this is the better side here, and I'm going to try to make this more curved. This isn't always easy to do. Here, I might actually cut off a little bit more, just a touch more. Okay, hold on to that. Okay, so I'm gonna close that up a little bit more. So I'm gonna try maybe another one. Let's see if I do a little bit of a better job. Whoopsies. I'll go down a little bit more than halfway. Just wanted to show you guys the first step of this. I'm going to do this off screen because I don't want to edit this forever, but you guys kind of get the picture. So I also got some of these lobster clasps and jump ring sets, and they have different colors. My husband bought these for me from Amazon. I was so sick of trying to find something that matches things, and I really wanted something gold specifically for this. Obviously you can change things out color wise if you don't glue things down, if you kind of decide, oh, I don't really like that for the chains that I'm doing. So anyways, I just wanted to show you what I was doing. So I'm not going to show it on camera just because it's really finicky and kind of annoying to do, but I tried to make the loop as closed as I possibly could for a lot of these guys. And then I'm just going to show you guys real quick. So I took the jump rings here. The focus on this camera might kind of dip in and out, unfortunately. Sorry guys, I apologize for that. So just opening this up, and then I think I've showed this before on this channel, but I just want to show again. And I just sort of gently put that through and then close it up. So I like to sort of do it sideways. If I can, it's a little easier to close. And then there you have it, a little loop, and then it's on a jump ring. And you can do multiple jump rings if you'd like, if that makes things easier for you. There you go. Just makes it a little easier to attach to the chain. So I'm just going to do that with, I've got a lot of these guys done. I'm just doing these 2 and then these 6 over here. And then I might show you a little bit of Mod Podging on camera, but yeah, I'm just going to basically get a hanger and hang these with paper clips. I think that might be kind of a good idea. Anyways, guys, so I'm going to do that off screen. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. So I wasn't actually going to show you how to put these on the paper clips, but I figured there is a bit of an art to this, so I figured I'd show you this too. So I haven't done anything yet. So you just put this on here, and you could just leave it on the first loop here, but I like to do down in the second loop just because it's going to be easier to hang on a hanger here. So when this thing is wet and has Mod Podge on it, you can just hang it from here and it'll just hang dry like that. So I'm gonna put these guys on a piece of paper for now, just so that I don't drip Mod Podge everywhere. And I'm just gonna brush it on. I'm gonna try not to set things down on this paper. Just gonna get a regular paintbrush and some matte Mod Podge. So this is a glue and a sealer in one. So because it's a glue, I don't want to stick to things. So that's why I'm going to brush things on both sides and then hang them. This is a lot, actually. This is more than I wanted. Here, I'm just gonna put a bit on here. Just coat them on both sides like you would. Try not to have too many drippy things of glue like I've got here. I've got way too much. This should be thinner than this. I just did way too much here. You can glue the head pin down so that it doesn't wobble so much, but that's really your call. You can do that after the fact, after you hang it on, say, a necklace or something, depending too. Okay, I'm just gonna brush this and thin this out before this dries on this side. But yeah, you can always get a piece of palette paper, wax paper. You can get a little palette if you don't want so much on your brush. And then I think I'm just gonna hang these. I'm just gonna go hang this right now. So I'm gonna do that to everything here. I'll show you everything hang drying. Okay, sorry about the terrible lighting here, guys, and the gross wall. I just wanted to show you guys the hangers. Just ignore my wall. But yeah, I just sort of divided the cereals up. I'm gonna show you guys this a little bit better in daylight, but this is while they're wet and hanging and just drying off. I just wanted to show you guys that. So it's a little late at night, that's why the lighting's kind of dark. Okay, again, sorry about the gross walls. This is my setup. Hopefully the lighting's a little bit better now. I left things to dry overnight, so they are pretty dry. Yeah, they're dry, they're matte, they're not shiny. I guess they have a little bit of a tiny sheen on it, but not that much, which I think is fine, especially for these guys. I don't think it shows up much on the marshmallowy ones that much, but it's fine for these guys because I think there's a tiny bit of a shine on these kind of corn pieces, so that should be fine. They look a little more realistic, I'd say, now. Also, they're still delicate pieces, but I don't feel like they're as delicate as they were now that I gave them a coat. I gave them one coat. I actually did put it on fairly thickly, but I still thinned it out so that there weren't globs of the Mod Podge on it. So yeah, I think that was really, really helpful as well. Anyways, I'm just gonna get them off of here. First, I'm gonna let them hang a little bit longer, but they're pretty much dry at this stage. I'm going to show you guys the chain situation. I'm going to construct that first. Okay, so I bought this mainly because, as you can see from this guy, it looks like he's got a pink chain going on, right? It's got this pink chain happening here. It looks different in this video. Everything looks redder, but it's actually more of a pink tone. So this is not fully matching. It's a little bit brighter and kind of closer to his skin tone, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. So that's basically why I chose to get these kind of chunkier chains, but also I'm going to try to match this stuff. So I got this from Amazon, and originally I bought these guys, which I might still use, to be honest. But yeah, so I got this, and it's all sorts of different colors, and it's a great lobster clasp. They're metal, like this. And I also have, in case this doesn't work out at all, I also have these black chains. These probably match better than anything else here. but I'll see what I can do with stuff. I couldn't find a matching brown one of these particular things, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, I wanted to make a chocolatey one. What I might do instead is use these coppery ones for something to clasp onto a little bit. I don't know. It's not exactly the perfect match, but it's probably the closest thing I'm going to find. So there's that. So I want to make a chain that is a necklace because I love wearing necklaces more. I have a bunch of necklaces like this. They're in little individual packages. I'm just going to use these as a guide because these do go around my neck, but I want them a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to stretch it out. I'm going to unclip it. These are nice and delicate. I use these in another video that's coming up too, so you'll see this soon. Okay. So this is about the length, and it takes up pretty much the whole video. Okay, this is nothing but chain. Okay, I'm gonna cut it a little bit longer. I think that would be a good size here. I'm gonna use this. I hate when these things go flying. I guess I could potentially use this as, here, I'm gonna keep this. I could potentially use this as something to latch onto, but you know what? It might be okay in general. Yeah, I think this is gonna be fine, to be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna use this side here because this one's already open. But yeah, anyways, first of all, I'm gonna keep this just in case because I might use that as a jump ring. Because see, as you can see, none of these guys are actually separated. They're solidly on. This is the only one that's separated at the end, but that's okay. I'm going to probably use this to just attach this lobster clasp, so that's going to be perfect for that. Awesome. I love that it's big and chunky too because it's going to be easier to put my charms on here, so I'm going to show you that a little bit later. So I'm going to try to keep it the same length. Let's find the end here. So let's make this the same length. I'm just going to hang it down and match it up. Okay, so I'll just snip this one right here. Oh, that one went flying. Oh, shoot. Okay, now I gotta find it if I can. Oh, okay, this one actually looks pretty good here. Okay, so we'll just do that. Are these about the same size? Yeah, it's about the same size, actually. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're gonna try to open this up slightly so we can put this on here. This is already open, luckily. And if you want to, you can always snip this open if you don't have yours open. Can I get it open a little bit more, maybe? There we go, slip that through. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, but it's not too bad. And then we'll just close this off. Okay, I don't think it's gonna slip through easily, but I'm just gonna try to get it as closed as I can. So I'm just gonna close it like that a bit more. Actually, I think that's as close as it's gonna get. Some people like to weld things together and whatnot if they're doing this sort of thing, but yeah, I don't think this chain's gonna come off easily, and this one. Just try to make it as closed as you possibly can. Okay, so if you want, I think you can clip it, because it's such a big chain, I think you're able to clip it with just these loops. Let's see. I may not need to use these guys here. Yeah. So yeah, I can even use that as a necklace. So that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna put this guy aside. So yeah, this guy. I'm going to slip on here. So that's good. I don't even need another jump ring, which is awesome. I thought I was going to have to use that. So that's great because this chain is big enough to clip together really easily. So this one might be a little bit more difficult to put together. Let's see what we can do here. If we can manipulate the wire. Still can come off this chain, so I don't love that. Okay, it might be a little bit tedious and fidgety. Oh, okay, it's not too bad. Try to clamp it together as much as you can, guys. Okay, there you go. I think that's pretty good. It's pretty solidly on there. And let's just do a little test on this as well. Amazing. There we go. I'm gonna just double check it around my neck and see if I can clip it on easily. Doing that off screen. I just want to see how it hangs. It seems to hang pretty nicely, actually. It's not too tight and it's a little lower, which is good. Perfect. This clasp is a lot bigger than I was hoping for, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. It's really difficult to find matching clasps. Okay, so there we go. So I just did these chains. That was it. And then these clasps that I got from Amazon. So these ones I think I got from AliExpress. Okay, so I'm gonna try to link this stuff down below, obviously, for you guys. So there's that. I'm gonna try to get down the hanging jewelry, and then I'm gonna put that on to show you how I'm gonna do that. Okay, so I already took these guys off of their clips. The clips seem to be unaltered. There's no glue or anything like that on them. Everything looks good with the hangers as well. I already put them back in my husband's closet, so they were completely unaltered. Honestly, that was a really, really good hanger to have in case you just want to paint Mod Podge on things all in one go instead of doing one side, waiting, and then flipping it over and then doing another side and waiting for things to dry. I think this was so much faster to just hang dry things, especially something little like tiny little charms. So yeah, so I did that all last night, and as I said, everything's unaltered and everything's pretty good. I'm gonna put everything back in the bag that these came in, and then I'm going to arrange these in such a way that I want them. I'm also going to take a few of them out because I don't want to have all of these on the chain. I'm going to do a few of the charms, and then I'm going to save some of these charms for a keychain dangle as well in this video. Never done that before, so that should be an interesting one. Okay, so I'm going to just do that and I'll come back. Okay, so I've kind of arranged things. So these are the extras, so I'm going to probably use these on a dangle. One of these guys fell in the recycling, so I'm just probably going to disinfect it and maybe use some of these guys on a dangle as well. And then these guys are the extras for the Count Chocula ones. So yeah, these are the Franken Berries, these are the Count Chocula ones. I did the Franken Berry necklace, and then this is the Count Chocula necklace here. So I'm just going to attach things on. So this is the middle one. I want this one hanging down a little bit more. This is a little harder to do because there's more pieces in this cereal. So this is going to be a lot more of a chunky necklace, I guess, because as I said, it has a lot more marshmallows. I may not use these guys for this dangle. I'm not sure. And then this, I might use all of these. I'll see how it works for the dangle. But yeah, I want this to look very chocolatey. Okay, I'm going to do what I've been doing this entire time. So this is going to help me make this chain. So I'm just going to open this up. Hopefully they'll lay nicely. And this is the front, so I want the front on here. Okay, so I've got to be careful about that too. So I normally like to use my right hand for my clasp. I'm right-handed, so I'm trying to work with everything from the front here because I know that I'm going to use this when I'm making sure that everything is in front. Does that make sense? I hope that that made sense because I don't really know. Anyways, I'm gonna try to close this up. And it's okay if they flip around, but a lot of the marshmallows I didn't really texture on the back of them, so that's why I'm trying to be cognizant of how I'm laying this down. So I want to try to cluster things a little bit closer, so when they lay down on my neck or somebody's neck, I want things to be laying down in a specific way. So let's try to... It's nice because I can put them a little closer together. Now that the glue is dry, they can actually come together and they won't stick together, so that's really good. But hopefully they'll dangle nicely. Let's see where exactly I want these guys to go and the spacing here. Oops. Okay, so that's not too bad. Space it pretty alright. You can space it a little further apart if you'd like. Okay, it's about, yeah, I guess it's about that one that I want to do. Maybe the third one in here. It's not always easy to do. Whoops. One's twisting around. So they're gonna definitely twist around, but again, I made them so it's sort of fine if they twist around on both sides. I really like the marbly effect of some of these guys. I picked a lot of the ones that look the neatest with the swirls. This one's a little bit darker than these other ones, but that's okay. It's just really hard to get a swirl effect that you want sometimes. Oopsies. That might be a little too far over, is it? Yeah, I think this one might be a little too far over, so I'm gonna probably bring it over. Maybe one more. Oops. Oh, no, now it's too close. Okay. I didn't realize it is that close. Okay. Oh wait, is it that close? Nope, I think it's okay. It just looks close. Okay, these are gonna dangle nice. So they're a little close together, but it's really difficult to figure out where to space these things out because I don't think the cereal is supposed to really be on a necklace or anything. It might look nice on a keychain, but anyways, it looks pretty good though. Fun and different, and it looks like you hung cereal on something. Fun fashion statement. Okay, so there's that. Whoa. It can get pretty twisted really easily though. That's the only thing with this. Just be careful when you're putting it away. Yeah, there you go. What do you guys think? It's hard to see against my skin, I think, but it's kind of nicer against this matte. I think that would look nice on a neck. I thought I was going to spread it out a little bit more too. You can totally spread this out a little bit more if you'd like. This I'm going to keep close together too, just because it needs that. There's more stuff going on here. Okay, so I'm going to try doing this now. One, two, three. Maybe I'll just space it out a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. This one's so small. I kind of wanted this to be on the end, but whatever, it's okay. Maybe I can find a bigger one actually. Let's see. This one's a little bit bigger. It's slightly bigger. Okay, whatever. Oopsies. I didn't want that to happen. I might just give it another extra one just because the wings of this guy might be a little bit much. 5. Hopefully these dangle down a little bit nicer because they're a little bit more spaced out. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, what do you guys think? Such fun colors. I love the colors here. I think that they're really, really cool. Lots of pinks happening. Okay, cool. So there's my Franken Berry necklace chain. And I don't know, I think it looks like cereal. I think it looks really, really cute. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to probably do some dangle stuff. I'll show you that stuff when I come back. I think it looks really cute. What do you guys think? Let me know below. Do you like this project? It's taking me forever, but I kind of love it. Yeah, spacing is really difficult to do with necklaces. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can do some dangles, and I think that would be really, really cute. Okay, so I've never really done a bead dangle before. This one should be a fairly small one, I'm hoping. Yeah, so I got a few of the beads that I had for my pen pokey tool letter opener, bead picker upper tools. I think that's kind of mostly where that one came from, those sort of videos. So I'll try to link these videos down below as well. So these guys, they already have jump rings on them, but I think I'm going to use, so these guys are the eye pens, and I want the eye pens. So should be fine. I'll see about actually, I'll put these ones aside for now. I didn't use these guys originally for that other video, so maybe I'll use, you can use a yellow for some color maybe, but I'm gonna use maybe white over here and try to keep them kind of more monochromatic tones if I can here. And then these are where I'm gonna have a little more fun. Can I do a darker pink? Yeah, that kind of matches that pink a little bit more. And then let's see what I'm gonna do here. Maybe I'll do a blue. And here, white will probably do, so I'm gonna do this white one. And then I might do, I don't know if I'm gonna do it on both of them, but I'll definitely do, disco bead might look cute on this one too, so I'll just do a little disco bead. There's also, I have bigger beads. I don't know if I'm gonna go there though with those, so we'll see. I'm just gonna do the tiniest dangle. So a lot of these are gold, so I'm gonna see if I can get some of the gold ones out with the eye pins. So I don't really care too much that these guys are bent. It's not that big of a deal because I'm gonna probably cut stuff anyways and then bend it. Let's see if this is too small for this. Oh, this should be fine. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna cut this shorter. Oops. Yeah, I was afraid that this was gonna go right through, but it seems like it's actually pretty good. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that with everything here. I'll just cut this off again a little bit. Do it halfway. And then roll it down. Okay, cool. This is actually pretty fun, pretty easy. I'll just connect things with more of these gold jump rings, or if you want to, you can even do stuff with the lobster clasps as well. If you want to make it a little easier for somebody to take stuff off, that's another alternative. Don't pinch yourself, that would be painful. These are sharp. Like that. Okay, cool. So then, okay, I'm gonna just do this already. I can always hang another thing here too. I might hang something there, we'll see. And then I'll just do this hanging from that. Fun! I might end up just putting this like this on here for now. Just so this dangle looks longer. Oh my god, so cute already. Okay, and yeah, I guess we just sort of start dangling stuff. I guess I could always dangle this from here, but I kind of want to dangle some stuff here. I think that looks cute. I mean, you can make it as chunky as you want. I don't have a ton of beads, but basically that's kind of how you do it, right? Design it however you'd like. But yeah, if you want to, instead of doing head pins, you can do eye pins for these guys too, and then you can dangle extra stuff, like it just did here, off of the charms you just made. I personally think that they're too delicate for that, so I don't really love that idea, but you can totally do that. I like that this is a fuzzy bow too. This is really cute. Different textures playing around. And that's kind of fun. And this is the last one. I'm gonna disinfect that guy that fell in the trash. I'm gonna wash it a little bit because it's got a matte Mod Podge on it, so hopefully it's okay. Alright, cool. This looks so cute. But yeah, I want to just dangle one more little thing here. But anyways, that's such a cute dangle already. What do you guys think? It's not very chunky, so I just disinfected this guy. I think this is going to look cute at the very bottom of this dangle. So you can make this as long as you want, or as chunky as you want, clearly too. So you don't have to do everything I'm doing. I'm just doing things quickly, so you guys can spend forever if you want to make this as chunky as you want. And if you have a big bead collection, I'm sure that's great. Whoops. So yeah, you can do this dangle, or you can do a keychain. It looks cute on both sides, this guy. I love it. All right, cool, there's one. This is my first dangle I've ever made, guys. What do you think? Okay, so let's do this guy kind of a similar way. Okay, I'll save these guys for something else. I could always make something together with those ones as well, but I'm just gonna save those for the future. I'm not going to make anything else in this video other than this stuff. Okay, so yeah, so I've got my stuff here. Alright, so yeah, if that's too plain for you, you can always obviously put other beads and stuff on. I was considering bought these guys a while ago on AliExpress, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to put these sort of things on. And these are really large, so yeah, so I might just make another chain with these guys on there. But yeah, you can totally do stuff like that if you want to as well. Just add fun stuff like that to this too. So obviously this one's a little more full because it has more marshmallows. If you want to, you can add more marshmallows on here. You can even add all of these, the different colors and stuff too. But I just kind of wanted to keep it simple. Just put that all back. So yeah, it's really cute what you can do with a few little things, right? Some chain. So I'm going to show you guys the package idea that I've got for you guys. And oh yeah, you can also put, I've got glow in the dark beads and stuff. I think that'd be kind of fun to stick on here as well. But yeah, as I said, I wanted to keep it simple. Okay, so this was quite the project. It was a very big one, very long video, and it's not over yet. Okay, so what I did was, so if you guys remember these, I just did this video last week where I made a small cereal box, and then I basically took the same kind of image as the cover, and then I put prize inside, jewelry, and dangle. And then I did this because I thought this was really fun. Here, I'm gonna bring the other one. I have printed this. I didn't laminate it though, so I just laminated all these, just printed these off, made sure that they fit in the box, obviously. I also rounded the corners because this can be sharp, so you can round it with scissors, you can round it with a corner punch. But yeah, I rounded the corners just to make sure that nothing was sharp. It's not fun giving your friends cuts and stuff when you're giving this stuff to people, right? But I printed off these. Obviously I didn't do a blueberry one, but it's fun if you do decide to do that sort of color scheme and that marshmallow things. You guys can make up your own if you want to as well. These are the Muppets ones that I was telling you about, so I think that these are really cute. So it's the Jim Henson Company combined with General Mills to do this cool collab. I think that that's really fun. But yeah, so I basically have that, and then as I said, I just did these guys here. So this one's a little bit bigger. I didn't make it exactly like it, but I kind of looked at some specifically Monster, Count Chocula stuff when they had a prize inside, and I sort of did something similar but not fully, just to sort of mimic that prize inside. So there's that. If you don't know how to laminate stuff, I'm gonna link the links down below for the lamination videos. So what I'm planning on doing is checking out, I don't think everything is going to be able to make it on here. Yeah, I'm just gonna put the necklace around here. I'm gonna do some slots right here with some of these scissors here. I'm gonna try to make it kind of even if I can. If you want to, you can round these to make it a little easier. I don't want people to cut themselves, right? Okay, put the chain through. So we have a few different colors showing. And then the rest of it, you could potentially put it in a little baggie or something. So you can always take this and then open this up. Put this in here. For the rest here, I'm gonna get a twist tie. Okay, so let's just do a little twist tying here. Just try to pull these guys kind of tight. Twist them around a little bit, not too much. I don't want to break it. Okay, and then just twist it a couple times. And then you don't have to necessarily do this. What I would do is I'd try to tape at least some of it down, not all of it. Just with regular cello tape. Luckily it's gonna come off easily because it's laminated here. You tape it down on both sides if you like. I think it's a little sturdier that way. If you want to tape this down, you can. I'm gonna try not to get the charm specifically. And there you go. And then you can stick this easily in the box and gift this to somebody. If you want to, you can put some packing peanuts in here as well. But yeah, that's just one of the things that I'm putting in here. And then I'm gonna put the dangle in here as well, just to keep it safe. I'm gonna do that right now. You know what? I'm gonna do this Count Chocula one, and then I'm gonna twist that. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tape the back part of this. And then I'm gonna punch 2 holes right there. Okay, I'm on the smallest hole setting anyways for this guy. So I'm just gonna do this. The smallest hole setting is the 1/8, I think. I'm gonna just do a punch right beside the eye. And then I'm gonna do another punch not too far away from that one. Right there. So it's a little uneven, that's okay. Might as well do the same thing for this guy. I'm just gonna put this through. So this is the black twist tie. And then I'm just gonna fasten it on so it doesn't dangle so much, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna fix this up a bit. And that should fit in the box as well. So yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing for this guy. I just didn't want to disrupt the image too much because this is really cute, I think. I know it's a little annoying packaging if you think about it for the recipient, probably, but it also helps to keep it down for when I'm packaging it up. There we go. So cute! And then the last guy is this. And I'm just gonna do the same thing that I just did earlier. So I'm gonna stick these guys together already. And there we go. Okay, there's one done. This one's almost done. I spaced things out a little bit more so that it actually sit on my neck a lot better. Okay, there we go. This is my Count Chocula box. I think this is a really fun presentation. Okay, so there you go, guys. They're both in here. Yeah, I think that this is really, really fun for your recipient to take it out and be like, oh wow, that's so cool. You know, you gave me a necklace. You gave me a dangle. That's awesome. Really fun. These are really cool for, obviously, birthdays, especially if somebody's really into Halloween and they have their birthday in, say, October. There you go. I think it's really, really fun for people who are really into the monster cereals. If someone doesn't have a birthday and they really like Halloween and there's no special occasion other than Halloween, I would say give them this as a boo basket thing, a little extra thing in a boo basket. Obviously, this project takes a long time, so this is going to be for a very special person if that's what you're going to do, if you're going to give this away. You know me, I just really love to do fun packaging. Yeah, I think that this is really, really cute. At the end of the day, I really, really hope that you guys like this. To me, it was a lot of fun to make these. Even though it took a long time, it felt like it took weeks. I'm gonna try to do this at the very beginning of when Halloween stuff is happening. So you guys can, if you want to make this for, say, boo baskets, you can totally do that and hopefully have some time to gather your stuff. I'm gonna put all the links down below. So anyways, I hope you guys like that. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And share the video in case you think somebody is going to really enjoy this content. I think that this is a really, really fun one, and I love the fact that it looks a lot like the cereal. You can sort of see the cereal here and here. I think it turned out really, really cute, and I hope you guys love it too. So anyways, have a good one, guys. Take care, everybody. Happy Halloween if you're celebrating that. Either way, have a good one. Okay, bye!